Welcome to the deep dive. This is where we take a whole stack of interesting sources, articles, research, expert notes, and, well, we try to boil them down to the really important stuff for you.
That's the goal.
And our mission today is to help you get a real handle on a topic that's causing, well, maybe more buzz and definitely more questions than anything else right now. AI and the future of work.
It's huge.
It really is. For as long as people have worked, there's been this worry, this fear of becoming obsolete. First, maybe it was stronger workers, then faster machines.
Right.
And now that same deep unease is all about, being outsmarted by these incredibly smart algorithms. AI is advancing so fast, it's really turned up the volume on that old concern. Makes it feel pretty urgent.
Oh, it's absolutely an undeniable force, isn't it? AI isn't just like affecting one or two areas. It's this huge wave changing everything.
Like everywhere.
Yeah, factories, offices, even hospitals using it for diagnostics, schools teaching new skills. It's everywhere. It's fundamentally changing how we work and maybe even what work means.
That's a big question.
It is. And with that kind of massive change, it's totally natural to feel a bit worried, a bit apprehensive. Our sources definitely show that anxiety is widespread.
Yeah, you can really feel that apprehension. And it circles back to those core worries people have, doesn't it? So, okay, our mission here in this deep dive.
Yeah.
Dig into all these sources we've gathered on AI and the future of work. We want to pull out those key insights, give you a clearer sort of map to navigate what's happening. Think of it less about just fear and more about, adaptation, opportunity, and how we work with these new tools.
Collaboration, yeah.
Okay, so let's unpack this fear of replacement. It's old, we know that. It pops up throughout history. But what does it actually look like today with AI being what it is?
Yeah, you're right. The basic fear isn't new, but AI adds a whole different layer. Our sources really highlight that today's AI, especially things like the big language models, can do stuff we always thought was uniquely human.
Like what specifically?
Well, drafting reports, analyzing huge data sets, helping with medical diagnoses, even creating stuff, marketing copy, music, art, simulating conversation incredibly well.
Right.
So for a lot of people, it feels less like a tool and more like a competitor. And change is hard, right? For ages, we've kind of linked our value to what we produce, our economic
The
role.
job title, yeah.
Exactly. So if machines can suddenly produce more, faster,
Yeah.
maybe cheaper,
Yeah.
it makes you question your place, your purpose. The core fears we see in the sources really boil down to losing income, losing that sense of purpose, and becoming irrelevant in a world run by algorithms. It's deep stuff, not just jobs, but identity.
Those are definitely powerful fears, very human and totally understandable with things changing so fast. But here's the thing, our sources also really stress. This isn't the first time we faced a massive shift like this. History seems to have some lessons for us.
That's the fascinating part, and it comes up again and again in the research, just how resilient people have been. Every single time we faced this kind of huge technological disruption, we have eventually adapted. We've evolved.
Can you give some examples?
Sure. Think about the Industrial Revolution.
Yeah.
People were genuinely terrified that power looms would just wipe out skilled weavers' jobs, or that steam engines meant horses, and all the jobs around them, farriers, carriage makers, would just vanish.
Okay.
And later, when computers came along, lots of people predicted the end for typists, filing clerks. But we didn't just stop working collectively.
No, the work changed.
Exactly. The nature of work shifted. Whole new industries popped up, jobs nobody could even imagine before those technologies existed.
Right. We didn't stop. We reinvented. We learned new things, built new systems, and like you said, created completely new roles. Locomotive engineers, software developers, things that didn't exist before. So looking at AI now, okay, the tech feels different, maybe more capable in some ways, but that underlying human ability to adapt, to be ingenious, to reinvent ourselves, that's arguably the same, right? It's another huge shift. But it's a type of shift we've handled before.
That's the crucial point, yes. And let's be direct. The sources don't try to sugarcoat this. Some jobs, or maybe more accurately, specific tasks within jobs, they are already disappearing.
Okay.
Think about tasks that are really repetitive, predictable, purely mechanical. That automation is happening fast. Things like robotic process automation, RPA, handling routine digital tasks like invoicing or data entry.
Right, the back office stuff.
Yeah. And with generative AI getting so good, routine writing, summarizing, even drafting initial legal documents, that's getting automated too.
And yet, here's where it gets really interesting based on our sources. There's this flip side. While some tasks go, whole new jobs are being created. Roles that literally didn't exist 5, maybe 10 years ago.
It's really happening.
It's compelling. Our research points to jobs like AI trainers, people teaching AI models how to understand tricky data or make their output better or align with human values.
Very important.
Then you've got prompt engineers who figure out the exact right words to get the best results from these language models. We're also seeing AI systems integrators, AI strategists.
People figuring out how to actually use this stuff effectively in a business.
Exactly. And that's before we even get to robot maintenance engineers or AI cybersecurity folks. It feels less like jobs replaced and more like jobs redefined and new ones just popping up.
It is a profound redefinition, absolutely. And this leads to a really critical point the sources make. If AI is taking over the predictable stuff, the repetitive, even some analysis, then this change demands something specific from us.
What's that?
We can't just, cling to the old ways. We have to get more flexible, more adaptable, better at collaborating with AI, and maybe, in a really important way, more human.
More human. That's a key takeaway. So if AI handles the machine tasks, what are those uniquely human things AI just can't do, no matter how smart it gets? What did the sources identify there?
Yeah, this is where the research gets really fascinating. Understanding AI's limits, what it can't genuinely do. It can process information incredibly fast, okay? But it can't actually feel empathy. Not real empathy.
I can mimic it, maybe?
It can simulate it remarkably well, yes. But it can't truly care about someone's well-being or share their joy. It can generate stories based on patterns it's learned, but it can't dream up entirely new visions for humanity or fight for social justice because it believes in it.
Right.
It can't offer real comfort to someone grieving based on shared human experience. Our sources talk about AI struggling with true sense-making, understanding ambiguity, complex social cues, applying judgment in new situations it wasn't trained for.
So nuance, context.
Exactly. Grasping irony, inspiring a team through charisma during a crisis, building deep, trust-based relationships that aren't just transactional. And, bringing real intuition to the table, telling a story from the heart with real feeling, vulnerability.
Those are human things.
Those are absolutely human things. Creativity, complex critical thinking that includes intuition, collaboration built on different perspectives, emotional intelligence. These things, the sources overwhelmingly agree, are more valuable now than ever.
Okay, so given all that, this huge shift, the rise of AI, the importance of human skills, what does this actually mean for us, for you listening? How do we sort of proactively prepare for this AI-driven future, leaning into those strengths?
Well, connecting the dots, the sources give some pretty clear practical strategies. It's not just philosophy. First, and maybe the biggest one, embrace lifelong learning. But not necessarily another 4-year degree for everyone.
Then
It's more about continuous agile upskilling. Things like AI literacy, just understanding how to work with AI tools effectively, not necessarily coding them. That's becoming basic. Micro-credentials in new fields are also key.
Okay, keep learning. What else?
Second, intentionally focus on developing those uniquely human skills we just talked about, the ones machines aren't good at. Actively practice creativity, maybe through tackling problems in new ways. Enhance collaboration by working in diverse teams. sharpen emotional intelligence through really listening, handling conflict constructively. These need human interaction.
Right. Practice being human, essentially. What about the bigger picture beyond individual skills?
Good question. Third, the sources suggest a mindset shift. Focus on finding deeper meaning and purpose in work, not just ticking off tasks. AI can do the routine stuff. Purpose, strategy, ethics, that's human territory. Connect your work to a bigger vision.
Okay. Meaning over just tasks.
Fourth, and this is vital for society, advocacy. We need to speak up for fairness, for inclusion, for policies that protect people who might be vulnerable during this transition.
Like what kind of policies?
Things like accessible retraining programs, making sure everyone can access AI tech, not just a few, and creating rules so the benefits of AI get shared broadly, not just kept by a small group.
Makes sense. Fairness is key.
Absolutely. And finally, zooming out a bit, the sources kind of gently remind us our jobs aren't everything. They don't define all of who we are. As work changes, maybe it frees us up to remember our other identities.
Right.
Like being dreamers, builders, parents, neighbors, artists, friends.
Mm-hmm.
Those parts of us remain, no matter how the tech changes. And investing in those parts becomes maybe even more important for our well-being and, for a resilient society.
That's a really powerful and actually quite hopeful thought, especially when things feel like they're changing so fast.
Yeah.
It brings us back from that initial anxiety we started with.
Exactly.
The big message from all these sources seems clear. AI isn't really the end of work. It's more like the next chapter.
Yeah. Precisely. And just like all the chapters before this one, we get to write it. We write it ourselves with courage, hopefully, with vision, with hope. The future of work isn't just something that washes over us. We shape it through the choices we make, how we learn, how we hold on to what makes us human.
So the message is, don't fear the future. Get involved in shaping it. One skill, one new idea, one truly human moment at a time. Because machines might learn incredibly fast, process unbelievable amounts of data.
But they don't imagine.
Right. It's humans who imagine what's worth learning in the first place and what actually makes life meaningful.